Welcome. I am so excited to jump into this explainer with you today. We're looking at some incredible insights from Florian Bankoley on a topic that is literally keeping executives up at night, the leadership required by AI. We're skipping the usual agenda today because honestly, we just need to dive straight into the deep end. We aren't just talking about rolling out a new software tool here. We're talking about a complete, fundamental rewiring of how businesses actually work. So let's set the scene. Picture this. A few months ago, Bankoley is sitting in a small, cramped office over in the Berlin Mitte district. He's with the CEO and CTO of a startup, staring at these two massive monitors. One of them is displaying their shiny new product, but the other monitor? That one showed their software factory. Now, like a lot of us, he had kind of thought of AI coding assistants as just neat productivity hacks, right? Fun to play with on a weekend, super impressive, but ultimately just tools. But what he saw on that second screen? It completely flipped the script. They hadn't just handed their engineers an AI assistant. They had completely rebuilt how value was created from the ground up, from designing requirements to writing, testing, and actually releasing the code. And the result of that shift? A massive 5 to 10 times acceleration. Work that used to take 12 months and a whole army of engineers was suddenly getting done in just 3 months. Now, you can debate the exact math on that all day, but the number itself isn't even the most important takeaway here. What's truly staggering is the sheer scale of this acceleration. It's an absolute quantum leap in output that totally shatters traditional project management models. The absolute most crucial point is how they pulled this off. The secret sauce wasn't just downloading a new plugin and telling the team, hey, work faster. Instead, they redesigned their entire operation around this massive new capability. They didn't just bolt AI onto an old, clunky process. They let the AI dictate a totally new way of working. And this right here is the first major epiphany of our explainer. True AI transformation is not about making a tired old process slightly faster. It's about creating a completely new operational reality. Which brings us to this really fascinating concept. When you or I think about how a business runs, we usually picture those standard organizational charts, right? The little boxes, the solid lines, the dotted lines, who we're supposed to CC on emails. But here's the thing. Companies don't actually run on org charts. They run on this invisible framework. There is a hidden, underlying layer beneath the surface that acts as the real engine of the company, dictating the actual day-to-day flow of work. Bankoley calls this the invisible operating system. It's the hidden layer of rules dictating how an organization handles complexity, workflow, trust, and decision-making. It's the unwritten code of whose voice actually matters, how bottlenecks get cleared, and what behaviors get rewarded. This invisible layer is the true glue holding everything together. And right now, AI is aggressively unraveling and rewiring this exact layer. It's changing who handles complexity, which means it is fundamentally altering the very DNA of the organization. Now, what's super interesting about this is that it actually validates the old way of doing things. It's so easy for us to look back and just dismiss traditional hierarchy as slow bureaucracy, but historically, it was a brilliant, highly logical solution. Think about it. Information used to be incredibly scarce and really hard to gather. Expertise was locked up in the heads of just a few senior people. So organizations built a system where information was pushed up the chain to those experts, and decisions were cascaded back down. Hierarchy was quite literally a structural solution to the massive problem of complexity. But here is where we hit a massive brick wall. When modern AI enters these deeply entrenched, traditional environments, we get a severe conflict. Because AI can process complexity, analyze trade-offs, and execute processes instantly. Bankoley actually realized this firsthand while working in a major mobility corporation. They had this beautiful, solid roadmap for 2030, but when a huge leap in AI arrived, what was supposed to happen in 2030 became technologically possible almost overnight. The technology was ready, but the organization absolutely was not. The bottleneck was no longer the tech, it was the leadership and the rigid organizational structure. And that brings us to an incredibly crucial shift. You see, traditional leadership got its authority from being the center point of information. You had power because you saw more, you could compare more data, and you were expected to have all the answers. But in the AI era, when both people and systems can process complexity instantly, authority no longer comes from hoarding information. It comes from facilitating better answers faster, maintaining consistency, and taking real responsibility. It's not that we need fewer leaders, it's that we desperately need a completely different kind of leader. All of this creates a really dangerous paradox. Think about it. We have these incredibly smart tools, but they're trapped inside completely obsolete organizational structures. We have lightning-fast systems, yet our decision-making remains agonizingly slow because every single step still requires a manual sign-off from some manager. The AI output is highly intelligent, but because it doesn't fit neatly into the old org chart, it lacks organizational clarity. You basically have an organization trying to force 21st century intelligence through a 20th century approval process. It just doesn't work. Bankoley uses this absolutely brilliant metaphor to describe this hesitation. He says, waiting for AI to stabilize before preparing is like waiting for the newest running shoes before you start training for a marathon while your neighbor trains every day. I love that so much. So many large organizations disguise their hesitation as caution, right? They say things like, well, let's just wait for the market to become transparent, or let's wait for the standards to settle down. But let me tell you, waiting right now, it's a total strategic illusion. Because when race day finally arrives, you aren't going to lose because your shoes weren't quite right. You're going to lose because your organization simply forgot how to adapt. Your competitor, the one who's been out there training every single day, stumbling, learning, and integrating AI, even if it's imperfect, they will have built the organizational muscle memory required to win. The real race isn't about having the absolute perfect tool. It's about who can learn to adapt and actually utilize these new capabilities the fastest. Okay, so how do we actually fix this? How do you redesign an organization before it breaks under its own weight? Well, Bankoley provides a really actionable 3-part roadmap for the leadership paradigm required by AI. These are the specific structural and mental pivots that leaders need to start making today if they want to survive this transition. Here's the high-level overview of those 3 steps. Number 1, move to judgment. Number 2, master orchestration. And number 3, develop human capability. Let's break those down. The first major pivot is moving from gathering information to exercising judgment. Listen, information is just no longer a scarce commodity. AI can spit out 1,000 pages of deep data analysis in a matter of seconds. Because of that, human value shifts drastically. It's no longer about finding the information. It's about having the critical judgment to identify the right problems to solve in the first place. Leaders have to get comfortable navigating extreme ambiguity. And ultimately, they have to step up and take final responsibility for the outcomes. The AI isn't going to go to jail, and it's not going to face the shareholders. You will. That judgment, that is your new differentiator. The second shift is that leaders must evolve into orchestrators. Back in the old days, a well-run organization was all about strict manual process compliance, basically making sure everyone meticulously checked their specific box. Not anymore. The modern leader is a conductor. Your job is to beautifully harmonize humans, AI, and legacy systems across the entire value chain. It requires a really deep understanding of architecture and context. You have to know exactly when to trust the AI's output, and crucially, you need the hard-earned expertise to know when to challenge the AI and intervene manually. And for the third shift, we have to stop desperately trying to protect obsolete job descriptions. It's a losing battle. Instead, we must pivot heavily toward developing human capability. As AI takes over the heavy lifting of complex processing, our uniquely human traits, like our innate sense of ethics, genuine empathy, and the ability to build real interpersonal trust, those become the organization's absolute most valuable assets. Trust really is the ultimate collaborative power that makes this whole hybrid system actually work. Now, we absolutely cannot ignore the profound emotional weight of this transition, because this is not just a standard technical upgrade. As AI changes how our daily work is done, it inevitably impacts people's sense of status, their professional identity, and their perceived value to the company. Leaders have to manage this with immense care and empathy, because at the end of the day, this isn't a sci-fi story about machines replacing humans. It is entirely about redesigning how humans and machines collaborate, keeping humans right at the center where ethics and legitimacy matter most, while bravely redesigning the rest of the machinery. Which brings us to our final lingering thought for today. For decades, traditional hierarchy was the perfect answer to business complexity. But today, AI is forcing us to find a completely new answer. So the question isn't whether AI is entering your organization. It already is, whether you see it or not. The real question you have to ask yourself right now is this: will you redesign your organization before the old model is completely obsolete? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I will catch you next time.